Okay, so tonight I'm going to have a go at something different. I'm going to make a repair video, or hopeful repair video, on this crappy light. I don't mind this light because the magnet on the bottom's pretty strong, so when you stick it to things to work on stuff, it stays put and shines where you want it to shine because it's got a nice bendy top on it. And I was pretty impressed with how bright it was, but as you can see now, it's pretty dim. But I think it's pretty dim. The batteries are new, but it's the button, so I can push the button and it sort of gets there anyway. So the button's probably broken, so I'm going to pull it apart and see if I can work out what's wrong with the button. So it looks like first thing is take the batteries out. The bottom comes off. It's just a piece of aluminium with a spring in the end of it. The batteries, which I thought I put new batteries in here, but apparently I didn't because these are ultra Chinese brand batteries. Oh no, it's Japanese. Anyway, batteries all going for the plastic thing. I'm pretty confident it's the button because you can sort of press and repress the button and the light gets dimmer and darker. So we'll try and get into the button. It looks like the button is inside a top piece of the moulding in there, so we'll see how we get in there. I'm assuming I'm going to untwist this. That doesn't feel good. Don't break! Oh, you can hear the noise it's making. Where's the microphone? Listen. So I'm guessing this has an O-ring in it. This bottom one has an O-ring in it as well. You can see the O-ring's got lots of metal shavings and bits of crap stuck in it, so that probably is what's happening to the top one. There we go. Oh wow. So it looks like inside the top of it there's this crappy white stuff. I've no idea what that is. There's a piece of plastic that's to stop these contacts shorting out on the inside of that, and the rest of it is just made out of the same aluminium as the rest of it. So I'm going to work out how to get this button out. It looks like this plastic piece is just pressed into the top. It's going to break if I pull it. Alright, I'll have to get something. Oh, this stuff is glue that's on the wires to hold the wires in place. Not anymore. Anyway, we'll have a go at getting this end out. I reckon we need to poke it out with something. So, handy screwdriver. Oh yeah, here we go. Don't break. Oh, that's sort of progress, but not really. Oh, that was... Oh no, all the pieces have fallen out separately. No, now I'm headbutting the camera, so don't mind that. And here we go. The button's out. This is the bit that was being dodgy for us. So what we'll do, we'll find the batteries after I spread them around everywhere again. Put them all back in their little plastic magazine thingy. Should be able to get some alligator clips, which thankfully are right here. I'm not going to have to get up at all this video. Now I'll go red for red and green for black because oh no, there's a black one here. Look at that. Things are getting professional. Okay, red is red and black is black for the first time ever. So according to the markings on the top of this, plus is this little tab here and negative is this one, or oh, hang on a second. So I think plus is actually this because there's a plus on the metal bit just here, but the positive end of the battery is connected straight to that metal piece. So I guess that makes... Oh, here we go. Negative. Ah, so the plus and the negative in the plastic is to mark which way up the battery goes. Right, so we should be able to... We'll flip this over so we can see what we're doing. I'll focus. Very nice. Put these on. So this one goes on plus. Black one, wherever it's ended up, goes on the negative. Oh, and now it's super bright. So we'll click the button and nothing's happening. Oh, okay, so I've wired it up over here past the button. So if I take this off and hang on, what am I doing? Oh, the button. Oh, okay, so the button is the contact for the bottom of the thing. So the red one goes to the other side of the button. Black one goes to here. Now we have a button. Yeah, so I can touch the button and the light is a bit dim and crappy, whereas if I wire it up with the button bypassed, we have a nice solid light, which is not crappy. So that tells me that it is definitely the button. So I might try and pull the button apart and see what it's got on the inside. So taking a closer look at the button, it looks like it's not supposed to come apart, because this button probably costs all of about 3 cents to make, and it's not worth taking apart, but I'm going to take it apart anyway. So looking in the little holes, there's no screws, it's probably just glued together in an undoable way. So I have to get something to pry it apart. Like this tiny screwdriver, which is, yep, a tiny flat blade. Let's see if we can pop her open. Oh yeah. Get some more focus going here. It's hard, I can't decide if I should look at the camera or if I should look at what I'm doing through the camera, or like, you know what I mean. This side started to pop, the other side, you don't break! The other side wants to not pop. There it goes. And okay, so the button's held together. Whoops. Oh, here comes all the springs. The button's held together with these little pins that fit into these little holes. Oh god. Okay, so bits of the button have gone everywhere. There's the spring, there's the middle piece, there's the other middle piece. So we'll get some zoom here. Now, all the button. So it works like the inside of a little ballpoint pen. You can see the twisty bit. It's each time you click the button, it spins up and down on these little lumps, and that's what makes it goes click, 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 click. And then one lump's a little smaller than the other one, so one it goes click and holds it down, one it goes click and it lets it come back up. So put this back in here, put the spring back in there. This is the contact. This is the contact off the bottom of the button. So all this does is, if I can find the rest of the pieces, there's one piece. This piece fit in here somehow, like that. That piece fits in there, and then there was another piece, which is probably, oh no, so the other piece is soldered to here. All this does is when you click it, this little metal piece moves closer to these and joins the two halves of the button together. So I'm going to have to make it so this little metal piece has more contact, or like better contact with this part of the button. So I'll get some dielectric grease, which is just like conductive grease, which I should have here somewhere. Somewhere being the key word. I did buy a tube once, I never used it. Gonna knock the camera over. Here it is. Something, something, grease, something, something. Electricus. Oh wait, that doesn't say anything about grease. Oh no, this is heatsink grease. Never mind, I thought I bought, I'm thinking a different grease. Okay, so let's scratch that plan. That's the wrong grease. So what else can I do? I guess I could probably... So I need this thing to go down and push on that a bit more than it is previously. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, so this circle piece ends up... Oh, maybe not. Okay, new plan. Let's get a new button, because this button is broken. Actually, no, I'll fix this button. Where's the spring gone? Let's just put it back together and see if the simple act of taking it apart and putting it back together has suddenly made it work properly. So we'll get the button, we'll get the inside button piece, we get this piece, little contactor, put the spring back in the contactor part. I've got the two terminals. There's one terminal. Doesn't matter which side the terminals go on, of course, because the electricity flows through the button either way without making a difference. So the terminals, did the terminals go on top or underneath? I don't know. I didn't really get to look when I took it apart because it just sort of exploded instead of coming apart nicely. So I'm going to go with I'm going to go for underneath. Put it together like that, see if it works. Oh, the spring's coming out again. This is going to be annoying to put back together. More zoom. Ah, damn it. Come on. Okay. Do not bump it or it's going to fall apart again. And the bottom piece. On you go. Oh, there's a little pin inside. Ah, damn it. Anyway, there's a little pin inside the bottom piece that I have to get into the spring. So, try that for like the 5th time. In carefully. Can't actually see what I'm doing. Just guessing that the pin is lined up. Push it back together. Come on. Good. Hey, it's back together. And it clicks. It's back together and clicks. That's 2 things in one. Alright, let's connect the batteries back to it. So we've got the red one. Back zoom out. Got the red one. Red one goes on this side of the button, of course. Got the black one goes on here. Other end of the black one goes to the negative side of the battery, because black is negative. That's not racist, that's just the way it is. And the red one. Stick, yes. And here's our light. Hey, it works. And it looks like it's... Hey, and there's no more dodgy flickering going on. So look at that. You would be amazed at the amount of things that can be repaired by just taking them apart and putting them back together with no actual thought going into it. They just sort of work. Yeah, well, I declare that to be sort of fixed. Got to put it back together now. So, these pieces all fit together somehow. So this went in here. This piece was like bent around like that, so it fit on the bottom of the... Is this even in focus? I can't tell. Yeah, looks close enough. Oh yeah, a little rubber dung thingy goes in here somehow. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Very nice. Oh, actually, nope. This water is probably better. Put that on there, and then put this piece on here. Nope. That doesn't work either. How do you get this back in here? It's as though they didn't want you to take it apart. Oh, and I just noticed this piece is then upside down. See it like, it bends up and it should bend down. But luckily, fixed. So I guess I should put the button in first and then slide this thing underneath it. Button in, plastic piece in. Okay, plastic piece is in. Battery tab thing, I have to bend back so that tab down in there is, focus, is sitting flat so the batteries can touch it. And this black piece goes somewhere. I forget where. So, okay, so the positive side of the batteries, which connect to the red side, so the plus, which is this side, that just connects to the terminal down inside the thing. You can see it just goes in there and touches it. And the back side goes to this spring, and the spring is earthed straight to the cap, and the cap is earthed to the thing, like the body bit, and then this is earthed to this. So there has to be some way, that this like attaches to the like metal part of it, but I don't actually see anywhere obvious. I'm assuming it just jams down the side of it somewhere. So let's just jam it somewhere. Nowhere obvious that I can see that it jams. I don't remember where it came out. Should have paid more attention to what I was doing instead of just pulling it apart. But where would the fun in that be? This is picking up all the crap off the bench. Do not do that. Okay, I'm stuck. Where is this black piece supposed to connect to? It's got no obvious home. Like you'd expect there to be a little slot around the outside of this black piece in here somewhere. Like down the edge where it would fit, but There is nowhere down the edge where it fits. Oh, let's get some zoom. Yeah, a little slot here somewhere, but there is no slot. It just sort of floats around in space on its own. Oh, we could probably test it by, I'll just hold it on here. Put the batteries in. Oh, which way is up? This way. Oh, there's an arrow. Ah, see, thinking. Batteries. Cap, which has just picked up more stuff because it's still on the bench. But does the button work now? Hey, look at that. That's one light. Back to working. Now it's got to work out where this black thing's supposed to be. So, screw this. Oh, actually, maybe the black thing went on top of this part. So we'll put this top cappy piece back in first. In you go. Like that. And there's still nowhere obvious that this black wire goes. So let's just try and jam it in there somewhere. In you go. It doesn't know where it goes. Let's try put it in there and then jam the black piece in on top of it. Oh, aha, look at this. This flat piece here might have no depth perception because I'm looking through that camera. There. Looks like the black piece was jammed down the side. So let's try and jam it down there again. Put it in the hole first. Where's the focus? And then jam this in. Ow! Cool. Stabbed myself, but it's all good. Put the top back on. Oh, this means the wire's going to be all twisted up inside it. Oh, I guess that's just how it goes together. So the cap's back on. There's wires and stuff stuck to it. But we're working and there's no more flickery light, but full brightness. Cool. Fixed.